Welcome to another episode of Mind Your Business, the podcast. My name is Abby, and each week I will be chatting to a different independent business owner about the story behind their business journey and how they built their brand. Enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business. Now, this week things are a wee bit different. Unfortunately, I'm not joined by an amazing guest who's going to tell me an amazing, interesting story. Instead, it's just me. We're doing a solo episode this week, which feels so weird. Like, it actually feels so much weirder talking to myself than it does. I don't know why. But it's just me. Basically, last week we moved into my first house. So things were totally crazy. And to be honest, I was really disorganised and didn't have episodes ready for last week and this week. So last week I asked on Instagram, you were all so nice and told me to take a break. But I didn't want to let you down again this week, so I thought, you know what, you all seemed a bit interested in my story, my business journey, so I thought, let's do it, let's try it out, see if anyone will actually listen to me talk for an hour on my own. But yeah, don't worry, next week I've got a few local interviews coming up, and then I'm also through in Edinburgh for a day the next couple of weeks. So there's so many good episodes coming, really great businesses, so I promise it won't be me all the time, just this week. So this is so weird. Basically, I've asked on Instagram, people have sent me some questions, and I'm also just kind of going to be following the format that I normally do with my interviews. But yeah, in case you don't know, my name's Abby. I realised when I first started this podcast, I actually never mentioned my name for about the first 10 episodes, I think. So yeah, if you don't know who I am, my name's Abby. I obviously run Mind Your Business podcast. It's just me. I get a lot of messages saying like, oh, your team's doing so great or stuff like that. But no, it's just me. I go out, do the interviews, I do all the editing badly, but yeah, it's just me. And I also, my main business, I'm a graphic designer, so I do branding, social media, stuff like that over at AbbyLou Designs. So yeah, I thought I would just kind of talk to you about my business journey so far. So we'll just jump in. So yeah, basically, I've always been quite an arty person, like since I was a child really. So the only thing I ever really thought I would do, like I never thought of anything other than something arty. So when I was going to uni, I done digital media, it was called. So it was sort of a bit of everything. It was some graphic design, some photography, some video production, some sound production. It was really everything creative sort of lumped into one. And I did that at Edinburgh Napier University. So yeah, I went from 6th year at school to doing that. And to be honest, I kind of hated the whole thing. I think I jumped into uni thinking that that's what I had to do, that's what people do, they left school, they go to uni, and if I'm honest, I don't think I learnt much. I think I could have probably learnt it on my own. I don't know how much that was to do with the uni, the course, just me, I don't know. But personally for me, I don't want to say a waste of time, but I didn't get as much out of it as I kind of hoped I would. But yeah, when I was doing that, I kind of realised I was terrible at a lot of the stuff. Sound production, funnily enough, wasn't really for me. A bit weird now that this is part of my job. I didn't really like sound production. Video production was okay. I don't mind editing, but the one that always kind of stuck out to me was the graphic design side. So it was actually while I was at uni, maybe 2015 I think, that I started up AbbyLou Designs. And it actually used to be more like a gift company. I used to do like the personalised prints that were going around back then, with like all the words, you chose the words. I made them up for birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, stuff like that. So that was just kind of a wee bit on the side that gave me a bit of money, not much at all really. And I never really thought anything of it, to be honest. I never thought I would make it anything. I don't really know what I was planning to do as a job, actually, if I'm honest with myself. So yeah, I never really knew what was going to happen with AbbyLou Designs, with my design stuff. It was never my plan to make it my full-time job. So once I finished uni, I was actually still working in my retail job at a local bakery. So I was just kind of doing that on the side. I ended up running one of the branches, a really, really tiny branch. I think it was the quietest one in the whole company, but they ended up letting me run it. I was only like 20 or something, but the manager retired, so it ended up falling to me, and it was basically most of the time it was only me working there because it was just so quiet. So I would be in at 4 making the rolls, making the sandwiches, sausage rolls, steak bake, stuff like that, and then I would be serving people all day, doing the ordering, all that stuff, and then shutting the shop as well. So that was kind of fun. That was sort of some responsibility and kind of taught me like the business side of things. But in that job as well, I also kind of done some part-time work in the marketing office. So at that time, I kind of thought that's where I was going to go. I thought I was going to finish uni, either maybe get a job there or get something to do with marketing. I really enjoyed that. I used to do quite a lot of the photography, and I was hoping to get into more of the graphic design side and there. But I was kind of holding out for that, and I don't know if that was ever actually going to turn into anything. Nothing seemed to be happening. So I eventually found a job which I thought was like going to be my big graduate job. I was so excited about it. And it was basically that sort of stuff. It was marketing, it was social media, it was like content creation, posters, flyers, brochures, stuff like that. So I thought, this is me, I'm set, so excited. It was like double the money I was making at the bakery. So I went there and I was sacked after a month. So at the time, obviously, I thought that was like the end of the world. But looking back, it was kind of a horrible place to work. The people I worked with were lovely, but like the actual owners, managers, the way things were run was just shambolic. And they decided pretty quickly that they could get the job done cheaper by like outsourcing it to people rather than having someone in. So yeah, basically I was sacked, thought it was the end of the world, cried for like a full day, and then kind of thought, shit, what am I going to do? So I'd just left this job that I loved, the retail job in the bakery. I loved it. Made this big deal that I was leaving to go and do like my graduate job, and I kind of had the moment of like, did I go back? Like, did I take the kind of hit to my pride and go back and be like, oh, this never worked out, can I have my job back? Which I'm pretty sure that I would have got, because left on good terms, I was good at my job, I loved it. I think I would have been able to go back, but I didn't want to do that. I'd made this big jump to kind of go and do what I wanted to do, and it would have felt a bit like a failure to go back, I think. So yeah, that's when I kind of had the idea that I could turn AbbyLou Designs and kind of change it a wee bit and focus on like the branding side of things. So obviously I'd had all the experience with like the graphic design stuff at uni, so I thought I'm totally capable now of being able to do branding stuff for people's businesses rather than just like the gifts and that kind of side of things. Yeah, so I put up something on Facebook telling people that I would kind of changed. I think I rebranded myself, and I actually started to get orders. Now, I was charging like pennies at this point, so I did get a lot of orders and I was working crazy amounts, but I still kind of had the fear, like I never ever thought that I would be able to do this full time. So I quite quickly, I think it was maybe like a month after I got sacked, I got another job. So this was the same sort of thing, but it was maybe more admin based, with like the chance of it being like marketing and stuff on the side. So I was actually in that job for just under a year, I think, but that one I ended up quitting one day. So I went from being sacked to quitting in the space of a month. But yeah, it was the same story. I don't know if I'm like unlucky or what the hell is going on, but great people that I worked with, but another terrible boss, horrible job. It was getting more and more of the admin stuff, which I don't care about. I hated it. It was just spreadsheets and all that are no my thing. And it was quite a negative place to be. It made me quite unhappy, and I spent a lot of time really upset and really worried, and the dread of going to work in the morning. And eventually there was one really, really bad day. It had been building up, I think, over like a week, just being snapped at and belittled and put down and stuff by the boss. Hope they're not listening. Yeah, but there was just one day, and I think I'd been pulled in for a meeting, and there was like a big thing. A lot of stuff was put on me that wasn't my problem, wasn't my fault. It was nothing to do with me, and I was embarrassed in front of my co-workers. And after that meeting, I walked out and I was so angry. And I just thought to myself, why am I doing this? For the money that I'm getting here, why the hell am I putting myself through this for a job that I absolutely hate? Why am I letting someone speak to me like this? And why am I like dreading going to work so much? So yeah, basically that day I walked out, I packed it in, I thought, nah, screw this, and I left. So I had no plan, no savings, no money, nothing really. I had obviously my business, my design stuff on the side where I was making a bit of money. I was making like enough to kind of have a bit extra each month, but I definitely wasn't making enough to support myself full time. So that was really scary. That was probably like the most mental thing I've done. I don't know still where I got that bravery to do that, to be honest. I thank God for my family and for my boyfriend, because literally I would have been like homeless and starving if it wasn't for them. But yeah, they were kind of all in. My boyfriend especially was like, go for it, like I'll kind of keep things going in the house, you just go for it. So yeah, I sort of made some changes to make it more of like a proper business. So I changed all my pricing structure so that I was actually working for what I was worth. I was still charging less than I am now, because obviously I was like a beginner, but I was charging a fair amount for my skill at that time and my experience and stuff. So yeah, I just built it from there. And now I think it was about a year in July since I've been going. I actually cannot believe that I've like supported myself financially somewhat most months for over a year. Like, that is mad to me. Like, I always really wanted to have my own business. I always kind of thought I would. I don't know. Like, even when I was younger, I kind of had these weird ideas for things I wanted to do. I don't even know if I told anyone. Like, I think it was just in my head. Like, I wanted to make jewellery at one point, and I was like, probably like 12 or 13, like on eBay, searching how much. It was the little clay, remember, like Fimo clay jewellery, and it was like in the shape of sweeties and like biscuits, and there was earrings that looked like flumps and stuff like that. And this was like my dream at the time. Like, I was actually going to make like this big jewellery company making this. So I like total priced it all out, all the fittings, all the wee bits, packaging. Like, I was actually like totally in for like a week. I never done it. Obviously realised, like, calm down, you're only 12. But yeah, I've always kind of had that, like, I would absolutely love to own my own shop and just like go into your own wee shop, work for yourself. Like, I know some people, that's like people's hell, but to me, I don't know why, that's always been something that I'd love to do. But yeah, I just never really thought that it would actually work and I would actually be able to do this. So now I do branding work. I also do social media management. I've got some great businesses there that I get to work with every single week, creating content and creating sort of a branded social media presence, really. And then I have some great businesses. I've worked with some amazing people over the last year. I've had charities that match visually impaired people with sighted riders, cyclists, and they like help them to get back on the road and to get out there. I've had baby sleep consultants. I've had therapists that work with the LGBT community. I've had an eco-friendly delivery service. I've had electric vans. Honestly, all sorts. I'm so lucky with the clients that I have. They're all amazing and they're all so good to work with. I'm working with like my dream people. But yeah, and I'm getting to like help them bring their business and their brand to life. It's really crazy. So that is like my baby. That's my main business, which I don't think anyone really on the podcast, I mention it sometimes, it comes up in passing, but I don't usually like to talk about myself too much when it's like when I'm interviewing people. So it's quite hard because when I do all my interviews, obviously they're face to face, it's just me and this person and it's just like we're chatting. So it's hard not to just have it like a normal conversation where someone would say something and you would kind of tell them a story too, and it's hard not to do that because I realise I'm telling the same stories every week and you probably don't care about me at all. But then when I put this out the other week saying, obviously, help, I've got no episode, what should I do? Actually, so many people were like, oh, tell your story, which like baffled me. Like, I didn't think anyone would care. Oh my God, where was I going with that? It's so much harder when it's you that's talking. I feel so terrible for all my guests now that I put through this. But But yeah, I don't think anyone over on this or on the Instagram, definitely on Instagram, I never mention it. But yeah, my main business is branding, graphic design, stuff like that. So if you ever need a logo, find me at AbbyLou Designs. Yeah, so that kind of takes me up to today on that side of things. Branding wise, that both AbbyLou Designs and the podcast and Mind Your Business both have the kind of same colour scheme, because that colour is just like, I don't know why, it's just so me, and it, like, I couldn't pick any other colour. So when I was doing AbbyLou Designs, I've actually been through about 4 different logos. Maybe I'll post them one day actually, let me know if you want to see them. But I've been through 4 totally different logo variations. I just couldn't get it right. But I think I finally kind of nailed it down. So I stick with like quite a simple bold font, a bit of script for the designs, and then the main colour is like a really, really bright pink. Like the brightest pink you could possibly get. Yeah, I don't know if it maybe puts some people off, maybe, because it's quite in your face. It's definitely not subtle or delicate or anything like that. But I think if I did that and then people met me, they'd be like, that's not really right. Because I'm not a like dainty, like soft-spoken person. Like, I'm really not. I'm like common as anything. I like bright colours. I like weird things. I like stuff that's in your face and a bit weird. So yeah, I kind of stuck with that. And then when it came to do the branding for Mind Your Business, it was just kind of, I don't know why I just instantly chose the same colour scheme. I think to start with, I was going to have it more as like just an extension of AbbyLou Designs. So I don't think I was ever going to have 2 separate Instagram accounts, to be honest. I think I was just going to post all the episodes on my AbbyLou Designs account. But then I kind of thought about it, and I thought, no, I want this podcast to be a different thing. I don't want this to be about my business and like trying to sell you stuff, and I don't want that. I want people to be able to listen to the podcast and not have a clue who I am, which they didn't, because I didn't mention my name for like weeks. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to keep it separate. And the name, Mind Your Business, it was like literally the first name I thought of. I'll tell you a wee bit actually. I'll go back. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is so hard to like keep yourself straight when you're talking this much, sorry. But yeah, so how I kind of got started with the podcast was a bit of a weird one, to be honest, because I am literally like the shyest, most awkward, like most anxious person ever. I will avoid speaking to people at all costs usually. Like, I always use self-checkout lanes in shops. Most of the time I don't even answer my door if I don't know who it is, because it just freaks me out. I hate answering the phone, I hate speaking on the phone. Everything like that just freaks me out. I hate it. So talking to new people that I don't know, and having to go in and kind of lead a conversation was like literally my worst nightmare. Like, it was so far from like what I was comfortable with. But I kind of didn't want to be like that anymore. Like, I hate being shy. I hate being awkward with people. Like, when I first meet people, I hate that I can't speak to them, or I don't know, I hate it. So I kind of thought, like, what's the way to push myself from this? And there's not much, you can't get much further out of your comfort zone than doing a podcast. So it was one, I'd kind of been swirling around in my head, like most of my ideas do. I kind of get something in my head and I'm like, oh, and I think about it to myself for ages before I actually ever tell anyone or put it out there or anything like that. So yeah, I kind of had that. And then I remember one night, me and my boyfriend and our pal were walking home from a night out, and they were talking about podcasts, and our pal was kind of saying, oh my god, we should do one together. And I remember saying, no one's going to listen to that. What are you going to talk about? Like, no one's just going to listen to you talking about absolutely nothing. You need to have like a theme and like something that you're going to talk about each week. And I think he said like, oh, right, what would yours be? And then just at that point it kind of clicked, and I was like, oh well, I would speak to business owners because I deal with them day in, day out with my design stuff. I love hearing their stories. Like, literally, when I'm getting to know someone, when I'm getting to know a client and I'm finding out about their business and the kind of story behind it and who they're targeting and what they want to achieve with like their branding, that is like so interesting to me. So I said that, and it sort of clicked something in my head. So I started thinking about it more and more and more. I think I secretly done a logo one day when I was in the office. I just kind of done a quick logo sketch, which is actually exactly what it is now, but just like a kind of more basic version. And then I remember one day, I don't know what day, I think it was like a Friday, I think I was just feeling happy because it was Friday, I don't know, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to put it on my Instagram and just see what people say. So I think I put up an Instagram story just saying like, I've had this idea, I don't know if anyone will care, if anyone will listen, but I kind of want to do this podcast where I speak to businesses about their stories, blah, blah, blah. And I actually got such a crazy response. Like, I think I had like 40 or 50 messages of people being like, oh my God, I would totally listen to that. And people like saying they would love to be on it. Like, I never thought I would get people who actually wanted to talk to me. But I had people saying, oh my God, yeah, like I'd love that. That would be so good. And I kind of thought, right, I've not got an excuse not to now. Like, I've put it out there, people seem to like it, so I need to do it now. Yeah, so that was on, sorry, I'm just checking back my Instagram there. So that was on about the 10th of June, I think, that I'd put that post out there. And then on the 13th of June, I made the Mind Your Business Instagram page. Kind of put up a coming soon sort of thing. On the 1st of July, so in that time I was kind of sorting out how you actually start a podcast, because I had absolutely no idea. Like, I love listening to podcasts, but I literally had no idea how to make one. So I had to Google everything. Like, I literally learned how to do it all from Google. So I found out how to do it. I found a hosting site. I found microphone. I bought the microphone. I got the editing software sorted. I kind of learned basics. Like, I do the most basic editing. Like, I can take bits out and I can make things a bit louder if I need to, and that is literally about it. So yeah, I done all that in between kind of starting the Instagram. And then on the 1st of July, I actually had my first interview, which was with Jo from Bring to the Party. Now, Jo was actually meant to be interviewing me for this, which would have been so much better, but she's so busy. She's such a in-demand lady, and I'm so disorganised. I didn't have another episode ready for this week. So it is currently 11:30 on Tuesday, and I need to post this on Thursday, so I'm so disorganised that I couldn't have her interviewing me. But yeah, she was my very first guest, and I was terrible. I went to her house, I was so nervous. She had to ply me with gin to like actually calm me down. I was freaking out. I never slept for about 4 days before I'd done that interview. And I think the whole recording that we done was about 2 hours long, maybe more than 2 hours. So I had to cut out like an hour and a half of footage, recordings, to make it like an actual an episode that people would listen to. So yeah, honestly, I can't thank Jo enough for being like so patient with me, because I was terrible. I was so bad. So that was my first one. That was my very first interview. And then like 2 days later, on the 5th of July, I went over to Glasgow and I had 3 massive interviews in one day. Now, honestly, I don't know where I got the idea to just jump in that much, to jump in that far. So that day I had the Glasgow Girls Club, the Bloggers Who Brunch, and Black and White Marketing. Now, all 3 ladies are absolutely amazing. They were all people who I thought, oh, I'd love to speak to, but they're not going to speak to me now. Like, who am I? I've got like 1 episode. I've got like nothing. So I was kind of I had them on my back burner list, and I was going to ask them. And then things just kind of came up naturally, and I ended up just kind of putting it out there, and they all said yes. And I was kind of like, right, shit, now I have to actually do it. Like, now I have to actually go and speak to these people. And 90% of the interviews that I do, I've never met these people before. So I will meet them, and within like 10 minutes, we'll be recording. So when you hear me speaking to people, it is literally like my first conversation with these people. Some people I know, I knew Jo, I knew Lisa, and a few people I've spoken, like all those ladies I'd spoken to on social media for like months. So like I knew of them, but there have been some people that I've literally never spoken to before. I've met them 5 minutes later, I've recorded with them, and then I've ended up actually being like such good friends with them. Like, I totally keep up with them. We keep up on social media. It's been amazing. But yeah, I've just been so lucky. Like, I actually can't believe all the amazing people that I've got to speak to, and all the people that I have lined up so far. I have so much stuff coming for you, like so many good interviews. You're not ready for it. But yeah, I just love this so much. Like, I never, as I say, I'm so shy, I'm so awkward, but I never really realised how much I would love this. Like, literally from that second day, after Glasgow, obviously I was so nervous, but after I'd done that, I was like, oh my god, I love this is amazing. Like, I don't even get nervous anymore, to be honest. Like, I have so much fun doing them that I just don't even think about it now. But yeah, that's how the whole podcast came to be. And I actually can't believe that I get people listening to it. And I get people listening to it who aren't my family or my friends, or like I get people that I've never met before. I get people message me all the time saying that they listen to it while they're working, they listen to it in the office, in their studios, in their workshops. It gets them through the day. Like, they love hearing the stories. Different people. Like, it turns out a lot of people love to hear other people's business stories. Like, I thought it was just me being like so nosy, but apparently loads of people like it. Everyone loves to hear. I think especially business owners, like, they love to hear a story that they can relate to. Like, they've probably gone through the same thing. Like, a lot of the people who I interview say the same things when I ask them about the mistakes they've made. It's a lot of the same things that come up. It's not valuing yourself, undercharging, overcommitting yourself to things, burning out, like doubting yourself. Like, it's all, I think everyone kind of struggles with the same things. So just listening to other people kind of validating that and knowing that they go through the same thing, I think it's like really helpful. And I think it's just, if you're just nosy like me, it's just interesting to hear how people got to where they are and the kind of troubles they've gone through. And I love to hear what actually led people up to starting their business. Like, I don't think my story is that interesting. I think so many other people have amazing stories, and people who have started the journey when they started their motherhood journey and they realised that they couldn't go back to work, or they didn't want to go back to that environment and they wanted to stay with their families and have something more flexible. People who maybe had a traumatic experience and it's led to this, or like mine were just two bad bosses and me getting a bit stroppy one day and walking out. But people have such inspirational stories, and like I actually feel so lucky that they share them with me and like they want to talk to me about it and they tell me some amazing things. So yeah, I love it. I love this so much. And like, thank you so much for actually wanting to hear my story. Like, I don't know if it's been that interesting, but yeah. So yeah, that's basically what led me up to this point so far. Going to uni, hating it, making a business selling picture frames, working in a bakery, leaving that job, getting your dream job, getting sacked, getting another job, quitting, starting your business, and then randomly having an idea for a podcast when you're steaming, walking home for a night out. That is my inspirational business journey. Yeah, so I want to kind of do some of the sections that I usually do on my normal episodes. So my favourite one, check them out, which people always love that, and I don't know where. Like, when I started this podcast, I just knew that I wanted to spread the word about other independent businesses. Like, I'm obsessed with independent businesses. I think everyone needs to support them more. I love that people are supporting them more. But yeah, I knew I wanted like a wee section where people can just shout out anyone they want to, anyone who they think deserves to be seen, anyone that they love, anyone that they've had a great customer experience with, anything like that. And people totally get into it and have like the best recommendations. And I've actually found some amazing people and some people who I actually want to interview now through this wee section. So yeah, I want to do a check them out. I want to do my own section, okay? Leave me, let me do my own segment. So first of all, I just want to quickly shout out all the amazing businesses that have let me interview them so far. I'm so thankful that you let me do this, that you took a chance on me, that you believed in this wee thing that I was doing and wanted to speak to me. Like, I'm literally so thankful. So yeah, I've already mentioned Jo, Bring to the Party. She's amazing. I hope I can get these all in the right order now off the top of my head. And then we had Kirsty and Tony at Kangas, which is the coolest coffee shop in Kirkcaldy. Their story was amazing, all about how they've kind of put their own personality into their cafe and they've made it a real community hub. All the stuff that's in the cafe comes from their movie careers and their time in films and stuff. It's amazing. Then I had Leslie from Willow and Plum, who had the idea to start a soap business when she was away. I think she was being cabin crew away on holiday on a work trip, She had this idea to make soap and she's turned it into this huge eco empire. She's just amazing. And then I had Laura from the Glasgow Girls Club, who's built this massive, 15,000 people strong community of ladies in Glasgow and businesses and just women who are supporting each other, and it's just amazing. She does the most amazing events as well. We had Gemma from Bloggers Who Brunch, who again started a huge community for Glasgow ladies, mainly bloggers who do these big events, but they're trying to do something different. They're trying to promote like friendship and positivity, and they do stuff for the environment. They did beach cleanups, and they're kind of getting away from that horrible like bitchy persona that people think when they think of bloggers. It's like so the opposite of that. So they're amazing. We had Jennifer from Black and White Marketing, who has like the strongest brand ever. She has such a great story behind it and how she built it and how she helps other businesses sorting out their copy and their marketing and stuff like that. So she was amazing. We had Mike from Get Go, who was telling us all about how he built 2 businesses and how video is so important for small businesses. We had Lisa from Enchanting Gifts by LJ, who is just the biggest bundle of energy ever. I love Lisa so much. I actually challenge you to listen to that episode and not be like smiling the whole way through, because she is just a whirlwind of like the best energy ever. She's amazing. We had Marina from Transformations, who are bombarded with like 500 million questions about managing anxiety as a business owner, how to stop it holding you back, stuff like that. She gave us great tips. She brought in toys for me to play with. That was a great one. Who was next? It was Jasmine from Designs by Jasmine. So she finished uni and went straight into starting her own business, where she makes memory blankets, memory pets, keepsakes, amazing gifts and stuff like that. She juggles that with being a mum as well. Like, it's so inspiring. Then I was back in Glasgow, so we had Kat Patterson, who has probably the coolest job ever. So she used to be a profiler in the world of organised crime, and she kind of now uses that to profile business owners and to find out your MO, your method of operating in your business, and how you can kind of optimise what you're doing to make things work for you better. So that was an amazing one. And then we had the Divine Hag. We had Margaret, who had the most amazing story about where her branding and her business name came from. It was so personal to her family. She had this amazing spiritual experience one New Year when she was feeling really crap, and it started a whole business journey for her, and she built this whole thing from that. So that was an amazing story for her to share. We had Rhiannon from Rhiannon Neil Photography, who had another amazing, like everyone here has an amazing story. It's so mad. But she moved from Canada to Glasgow to be with her husband. They both moved over, and she built her really successful photography company from literally nothing. Like, she had no contacts, no reputation in the area, no one knew her, and she built it up. She literally like messaged people asking them to meet her for coffee, and that's how she built her network. It's like crazy, like so brave. The last one I had in Glasgow was Louise from Frida and Coco, who again took a situation that was crap, a job she wasn't happy in, and she turned it into this business that she loves. So she just, one day her husband made a comment about selling her clothes, and that sparked this whole business. And she now owns a vintage boutique where she sells vintage and pre-loved clothes, which is literally the most amazing shop ever. It's full of glitter, sparkles, colour, it's just amazing. And then the last one that I had was another Louise, Louise from Lavico Designs and Grain and Sustain. So Louise is one of the ones who started her business journey at the start of her motherhood journey. So she kind of felt the loss of identity. She found it quite hard. So she started her jewellery company. And then just recently, actually just last week, she opened her new business, Grain and Sustain, which is a zero waste refillery in Burnt Island. So that's a brand new business, but it's doing amazing. Everything she does is so ingrained in her family, and it's such a family affair, and it's so amazing. And then I've followed up all those amazing people with my crap story, with me sitting at 11:30 at night in my jammies doing this. so it's not quite as glamorous. But yeah, all those people are absolutely amazing. If you've not listened to all those episodes, if you just happened to find me last week, the week before, hopefully you've not just found me this week, because I promise it's not all like this. I promise they are better ones. But if you've not listened to them all, go back. You can find them all on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, what's it called now? Apple Podcasts, Castbox. We should be on Google Podcasts, but I think some people have issues with them. But we're definitely on Spotify, also on Spreaker, which is my host website. If you can go on there, you can listen to it on there. And all the episodes, they'll all be there. So you can go back and listen to them all if you want. But honestly, every single one of those ones, every single person I've met has been such a pleasure to chat to. Like, it's just been so amazing. So yeah, go and check them out if you've not already. A couple of more people I want to plug, because I just love plugging people. So the first one is Wallace Gemstone Candles, who I think's been mentioned in an episode or two before. But yeah, basically that is a family business. I was actually involved in it for a time with my auntie Jer. So she's running it herself now. She's the candle maker. She's the genius behind all that. I used to do the branding and the packaging and stuff. But unfortunately, I had to step back from that because things just got so crazy with the design side of things. But she's doing amazing stuff. All her candles and wax melts are amazing. Always got them burning in my house. I'm already onto my Christmas ones, and my house actually smells amazing. So yeah, check out Wallace Gemstone Candles. So basically, all the candles have real, genuine gemstones in them. So she does ones that are birthstone collection. She has other ones that are to promote tranquility and peace and joy. So they make amazing gifts. So you can check that out on Instagram, Facebook, and also the website Wallace Gemstone Candles. Another family one actually, I'm just going to shout out all my family businesses, is Hodger Wisht, which is a silent disco company. It's like the biggest one in Fife. I would say biggest in Scotland. It's massive. So they do public events every month. They have ones all around Fife, Kirkcaldy, Dunfermline, and they also do private hires. So they do weddings, anniversaries, stuff like that. And they've just started doing house parties as well. So they've got Hodger House Party. So someone comes, sets up the silent disco, gives you the headphones, leaves you for the night, and then comes back and picks it all up. It's literally the best fun ever. Like, if you've never been to a silent disco, it is so good. So if you're like in Fife or close, you should totally go to one of their public ones, try it out. I'd love to get them on the podcast. I'm going to try and convince them to come on. I also do all their branding and their social media for them as well. So not that I'm biased or anything, but yeah, go check them out on Facebook, Instagram, website, and any of their events if you're local. And yeah, I'm trying to think of other people. I honestly could go on for like ever about this. I might actually do some kind of like Follow Friday thing or something this week once this goes up, and just share some more of the accounts that I love, because there's honestly so many people that I would love to have on the podcast. So yeah, there's so many people you need to check out. I think I will do some sort of follow thing, or I'll do something. So many businesses that you need to be supporting that are just amazing. And yeah, I think that's me. I think I've waffled on. So I hope that's been okay. I hope I've not bored you. I've literally almost lost my voice talking so much. Sorry if I'm like croaking. This is so hard. Like, it's so much harder being on this side of it. I'm like so sorry to all my guests that I put you through this. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Be sure to follow me over on Instagram and Facebook at Mind Your Business Podcast, and also at AbbyLou Designs if you want to see all my design stuff. When I post this, I'll do my usual. This is actually going to be so weird, like posting pictures of myself as the episode and posting my own work. That's like going to be so weird. But I'll post some examples of my work up on there just as normal. Oh my god, am I going to have to quote myself next week? Oh my god, I just thought of that. I always do a quote post on a Tuesday, and I've just thought I'm going to have to quote myself. That is like peak arsehole, innit? I can't edit that. I'm going to have to think of someone else to quote. Sorry, I'm just like thinking out loud now. But yeah, go over there. You can check out my branding stuff. If you want help with branding, if you want to chat about your logo, social media, anything like that, drop me a message. We can chat about it. And if you want to be featured on the podcast, drop me a message or drop me an email. at mindyourbusinesspodcast@gmail.co.uk, I believe. Let me double check. Should have checked that before. mindyourbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. So if you drop me a message on there, just tell me about your business and I'll get you on the list of potential guests. So yeah, feel free to do that if you want to be featured. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I'll speak to you next week where I'll actually have some proper interviews. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Mind Your Business. If you're not already, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at Mind Your Business Podcast for updates on future guests and behind the scenes look at what we've been chatting about in this episode. See you next week.